No, because I think J.R. Smith's got a couple years. You could trade him. Kevin Love, you could trade him. There are pieces you could move. You still have two great players. I still think they have a chance to get Paul George. You know, listen, LeBron doesn't like feeling trapped, okay? But if they land Paul George, he's not trapped. He's on arguably the best team. With LeBron, what you learn with LeBron is keep him happy, try to communicate, don't have contracts you can't get out of. Right now, Cleveland's a little old, and Kevin Love's a liability against the Warriors. Just let's give it a couple days here.
LeBron sounds high maintenance under your description.
He is.
He's high maintenance. It is inevitable that he's leaving. If they're telling Jimmy Butler, don't come here, it's an S show, you think LeBron isn't like, I'm maybe doing one more year here, and I'm getting the hell out of here? If they're telling Jimmy Butler to stay away, LeBron's definitely leaving.
My theory, though, could LeBron be telling Jimmy no? Because LeBron wants Paul George over the two, and he knows that Gilbert prefers Butler. So he's just playing a game among the players to get his guy.
Possible. Look, I'm told this is far from inevitable. First of all, it's not that volatile. This is being so overblown.
Thank you.
Oh, my gosh. That I have not confirmed that players are telling this to Butler. Maybe it's true. Maybe it's not. But Chauncey Billups is well respected. The players will have no problem with him. They're still moving ahead, working on this trade for either Paul George or Jimmy Butler. The only thing, what could get volatile, is if Dan Gilbert really wants to stop spending money. If he's tired of paying the luxury tax,
got his
if
title.
he feels like, yeah, I got my title, I'm tired of paying the luxury tax 4 straight years, I'm not, look, I overpaid Tristan, I paid JR. That could get ugly. Then that could lead LeBron out the door. But it's not to that point yet. And if it doesn't get there, LeBron will stay.
Yeah, I got to disagree. I think he's out the door 2018. I said it on your show this week. Lakers or maybe someone else. But this comes back to Dan Gilbert, guys. We watched that video on Uninterrupted, right? LeBron in the barbershop. Remember what he said about his family when he was returning? We don't want to go back. His wife, his mom, they did not want to go back to Cleveland. It's a toxic situation.
Because of Gilbert.
It all goes back
But
to
he
Dan
went
Gilbert.
back.
He's
been there for 3 years.
Because he owed it to Cleveland to bring them a title, and he delivered on his promise. Mission
Why did
accomplished.
he resign after winning the title? He signed a 2-year deal after winning the title.
You just win a title. You're not walking out the door on the city that you were. Come on, Chris, you can't do that.
He resigned. Kevin Durant, I don't think, was a Warrior yet.
But he didn't stay long-term, Chris,
Yes, that's right.
because of this Dan Gilbert situation.
But he's not. He doesn't do that because it was financially smart not to sign long-term. Because he knew the salary cap was going up.
And also, listen, David Griffin was in place as the GM. Now Griffin's out. LeBron sends out that tweet. Guys, it seems inevitable that Dan Gilbert is going to screw this up.
Whoa, I like all your points, but I get so tired of everybody. Dan Gilbert's the wag guy.
Owners
He's
matter.
been overpaying.
In Kansas City, and the NFL owner is a huge story. It's in every town in pro sports.
The owners matter. But let's don't ignore the fact that, and again, I love LeBron James, watched him as much as anybody. But he's a headache wherever he goes.
Gilbert's a headache, too. In that franchise, it is tough to deal with Dan Gilbert.
Who's not a headache that's a star? Everybody's
He doesn't talk to the
Everybody's a headache.
We told you last week you're not a walk in the park. All right. Gilbert is hard to work with as a GM. He's very demanding. He's very, aggressive. So he's a lot to deal with. But look, possibly, like I said, if Gilbert doesn't want to spend money, that could lead LeBron out the door.
If by the time we leave this show, Paul George goes to the Cavs, where's the chaos?
But Colin,
you're in the driver's seat.
Here's why that's not happening. Gilbert does not want to rent Paul George and then have LeBron and Paul George walk out the door next summer.
That wouldn't be
Gilbert
terrible.
will not let that happen.
Those are 2 huge contracts off the books. You would have gotten rid of Kevin Love.
That's right.
If LeBron leaves, you're in rebuild mode anyway. So then you still rebuild around Kyrie Irving.
Kyrie, who led you to 25 wins when he was.
Yeah, but he's still one of the best players in the league.
Who says he wants to leave if LeBron leaves?
There you go.
All 3 pieces could walk out.
And you start all over. If LeBron leaves, it's over. Period. There's no salvaging.
LeBron's already
There's
leaving.
we lost Paul George too? No, it would be over.
If they re-sign Paul George in an hour, okay, next year's good. You don't think Paul George get a little taste of Game 7 of the NBA Finals?
Thank you.
Isn't coming back? You
That's
give
the
guys
thing.
a little taste of scratch.
Yeah,
They like
if
it.
LeBron wants to leave,
There you
though,
go.
so does the little taste of championships.
LeBron's
And if-
not leaving for a Paul George-less Lakers if he just beat the Warriors in Game
Yeah, he'll
6.
take Paul George with him. Let's go.
Oh,
Let's go to
come
LA
on.
party.
See, this
Let's
is
live it up.
people against the city of Cleveland.
That's right.
You can't fathom. I get it. You can't fathom anybody wanting to stay and live in Cleveland. Look, if LeBron was from Milwaukee and he went back to Milwaukee, I'd be saying the same. There's no way he's staying in Milwaukee. That's all this is. Cleveland, though, is a great city.
If it was
Mr. Ohio over here.
who lives in L.A.
Exactly.
Rock and roll Hall of Fame, all that.
If it wasn't for the fact that it's Cleveland, I would retire there.